morning! We're back!
Is that what we used to do?
Yeah.
We used to go, good morning!
We used to fail at saying good morning at the same time when the camera started up.
That sounds right.
Yeah, that's about right. I did very few tests, and hopefully the sound's fine, and looks fine, and everything is fine.
We got kind of old.
We got kind of old.
You got kind of skinny, actually.
I'm 30. I wasn't 30 last time. I'm 30 years old now. I'm 30 and just kind of frustrated about things.
Kyle's therapist told Kyle that he was too hard on himself. Kyle's therapist told Kyle...
Two of them have.
Kyle's therapist told Kyle that I'm too hard on myself.
Without having met her. Never
spoken to them. Also, all my therapists have told me this too.
Yeah.
We should just relax. We should just be kind of bad people for a bit, you know?
If the energy feels different, it's because there's been a lot of therapy.
Small says, how much therapy have you had where within 20 minutes of the podcast, Allison already returned us to we should be bad people again?
Oh no, that's definitely a result of it. I'm more on board with being bad.
Yeah, no, I don't know how to express it to you, but our therapists tell us that we need to relax on ourselves.
Oh yeah, no, the professional...
the advice is we should be worse people.
The mental health professional is like, you really could stand to be more selfish.
Yeah.
Oh, quick hi to Primordial Spatula, who's making
Primordial Spatula?
Who has a fantastic name, and also this is his first stream that he made it to.
Aww.
Which is wild.
With a name like that, you belong here.
Yes.
Yeah. That sounds like an OK We're Up fan.
It does.
Not an OK We're Up fan. Getting ahead of ourselves fan.
Oh, yes, for sure.
Chris Pratt.
Should we share our suspicious list? That'd be a good one. That'd be a good thing for the yeah.
Yeah, everybody's here.
Yeah, why not?
So Kyle and I.
Yeah, go for it.
Hate celebrities.
Yeah. If one person does one really bad thing, they've also done everything else. They did all the bad things.
Oh, yeah.
You just didn't find out about them yet.
That's also usually pretty true.
99% of the time. Grace said, I do hope that not all shoplifters are also serial killers that we haven't found out about yet. Shoplifting isn't evil. So this is this is the difference.
That's exactly right. There's nothing morally wrong with shoplifting
People who are willing, maybe a more concise way to put this is people who are willing to hurt people don't have a limitation on how far they're willing to hurt people. Someone stealing from Walmart is not displaying a lack of empathy that allows them to directly harm another person. Right. Yes.
Steal from Walmart. Anyway.
Steal from Walmart.
Yeah, I made this list one night. I think we were just really tired.
Yeah.
So celebrities I was right about being terrible. And the categories are rough, because I didn't put a lot of work into this, but the categories are confirmed bad people.
Right.
Suspicious people that I'm pretty sure we're going to learn something about. Safe people, who I would bet at least $20 on are probably gonna be fine, and nothing's gonna come out about them, and too confusing to know, in that they're just big enigmas, and how could we ever possibly understand if these people are bad or good, because there's just not enough. Anyway, so confirmed terrible people. We have Kanye West, obviously. Yeah. Feel free to censor me, Twitch, or where are we on?
We're on YouTube, but it's also unlisted.
I feel like Kanye West's name should just kind of get like the bleep over it anytime anyone says it. Ellen, Bill Cosby, John Mulaney. Sorry, my pause was because they have asterisks next to them, and I don't even know why I did that. I don't know why there's asterisks.
I don't know why those three. I would say John Mulaney is not like the last three that are mentioned.
Certainly not in the same way. But confirmed John Mulaney just kind of sucks. Joss Whedon. Can't even remember why. Weinstein.
I do.
Again, see, it kind of goes back and forth.
You just
have this guy sucks. And then you have, like, this guy should be...
Again, this is just something got mentioned that made them, that where you went, like... At most, you were like, oh, come on.
Confirmed fell out of public favor because they did genuinely shitty things.
Right.
All right. Suspicious list. James Gunn.
Yeah. Oh,
we
yeah.
We all remember the tweets.
I added
we all
him
remember
first.
The tweets.
I'm waiting on it.
Kyle's got money on this one.
He's the one I'm actually betting on. He's gonna be the next one that everyone's gonna be like. It's gonna come out. Everyone's gonna be like, I had no idea, but I did. I knew. I've been waiting.
So continuing, because we've only mentioned one person on the list.
Yeah.
James Gunn, Dan Harmon.
For the same reasons, mostly.
Yeah, except instead of tweets, it was a whole ass video.
Yeah,
Crazy.
no, that's true. There's a video of Dan Harmon pretending to rape a baby.
The only reason Dan Harmon is not on the confirmed list is because for some reason everyone is gaslighting me into thinking that he's fine. Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt. Anyway.
Chris Pratt.
Beyonce. Sus.
That's an interesting. Yeah.
Sus as hell. Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah, Neil Patrick Harris is. So there's also this category you talk about of like the ones who are like quiet and they're suspicious in this kind of quiet way. Neil Patrick Harris just kind of works with people who can't be good. Like
I'm gonna explain the quiet thing, which is that some people have their PR down to a science of like say nothing, do nothing.
Yeah.
In that they are so celebrity that they do not engage in anything else. Think like Scarlett Johansson. Right? They do not tweet, they do not Instagram, they do not social media, they do not do anything that isn't about the career. Anyway, Robert Downey Jr., Quentin Tarantino, Taika Waititi, Jimmy Fallon.
Quentin Tarantino is like this close to being in the confirmed category, by the way. The suspicious category could get broken up a little bit more.
It could definitely. Okay, we also have, Florence Pugh, Leonardo DiCaprio, Meryl Streep, that Weinstein stuff.
Yeah.
Chris Pratt, Billie Eilish.
Is he on there twice? Because that's fair.
What? Is he on there? Oh, yeah, he is. Billie Eilish. Billie Eilish
is probably like right at the edge of in danger and going into suspicious.
Kevin Hart. The Rock. Cody Ko. It's just like a random YouTuber.
Cody Ko's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mr. Beast.
I go back and forth.
Fuck Mr. Beast.
Oh, I don't know anything about Mr. Beast except that there's no way he can be a decent person, right?
David Harbour. Ryan Reynolds, Timothy Chalamet, Millie Bobby Brown, Miranda Cosgrove.
She's definitely in danger.
What did she do?
I don't know. Why is she on there?
I have no idea. All right, now we have the safe category. Other controversial category. You ready for the safe category?
If anyone has any problem with these people, we will listen. This is a very
Except for the first
list.
one, James Marsden. You can't have him. He's mine. Nothing wrong with this man. I don't think... No. I think that there are fewer men who aren't celebrities with as many green flags as James Marsden has.
That's really what it is. We have no personal connection to this. This is just like who we'd put money on. That's what it comes down
Yeah,
to.
it's right. It's just a betting game. It's just a gambling game for us. Hugh Jackman, safe. For a lot of the same reasons.
I agree with that. Yeah, no, Hugh Jackman kind of makes sense because... So a big thing for me does involve who they're married to. And if you were married before you got famous and then stayed married to that person who isn't also a celebrity, that's a big... Yeah, it's green flag counting is kind of what we're doing.
Anyway, Jon Stewart.
Jon Stewart's definitely my addition. I don't think I need to specify on that if anybody has seen what he does. Like anybody who quits almost always goes on my list too. Like if you were at the height of your career and then went, I'm done, and then leave.
Yeah.
You're my kind of guy.
Other people on my safe list, Daniel Radcliffe. I just don't think there's anything...
He's another one who he bailed. Like, he was like, I'm not doing Hollywood stuff anymore.
Oh.
I'm being weird.
Yeah. Dolly Parton.
I don't know much about that one, but I believe the things that you've said.
I don't think normal people are as good of people as Dolly Parton is. I would leave Dolly Parton alone in a room with my child.
She's the one that just gives literally all of her money away. Like, isn't like millionaire status or whatever because she just doesn't keep the money.
That's right.
That
is one fact about Dolly Parton. Hank Green.
Yeah. I'd say both Green brothers are probably fine, but if you had to rank them, Hank feels safer than John by just like this much. I don't know if it's the glass, if it's like the slightly more nerdier take. I don't know what it is, but anyway.
And then in the too confusing category, we only have 4 people because there's really not that many people that are that confusing.
These are the ones that just have too many, like the red flag pile and the green flag pile are too similar, so we just don't know.
Right. Adam Driver.
Yeah,
I don't know what.
Like Disney boy at this point for sure.
Big
like huge
actor.
but also does indie stuff,
But
but like also...
And he's also, like, completely quiet. Like, won't do hot ones, doesn't do interviews,
Right.
doesn't talk about himself. Taylor Swift, also in my too confusing. I almost know too much about her. I don't know which... Like, Key and Peele.
So the face is coming from the fact that, like, I don't think you can group them together anymore. At one point they were safe, but then they diverged, and now they're two different
I don't
entities.
know. I'm thinking of them together
and
still.
I don't know, and I think they're different from each other. Krell and Elson from Door Monster on the safe list.
No, don't leave me alone in a room with a baby. I just start punching babies. Yeah.
Like, this is like the most Kyle origin story I could give you, probably.
Yeah.
Which is, as a kid, I wanted to be a newspaper cartoonist.
Oh, right.
That was like my job aspiration.
Yeah.
And I had two comic strips that I really liked. And it was Garfield and Calvin and Hobbes. I read both of those a lot. And then I eventually learned about the people behind both of them. The Calvin and Hobbes guy, Bill Watterson, currently still one of my favorite artists.
Yeah.
Did whatever the fuck he wanted, argued with newspapers, got kicked out of newspapers all the time because he demanded, like, more space for the panels, and it was like, no, I'm drawing my own squares. And they're like, you can't do that. And he's like, I already did, take it or leave it. Refused to monetize anything that he made, did not sell merchandising rights. If you ever see a Calvin Hobbes merchandise, it's illegal. He didn't let it happen.
Yeah.
And then eventually decided he was done, wrote an ending, and then moved to the desert to live with his family for the rest of his life. That was it. Jim Davis, the guy that made Garfield, ended up hiring on a bunch of other people, turning it into a factory system, making a library of Garfield imagery, and basically just assembly line, started shooting that shit out, monetized every inch of it he could. There's Garfield products everywhere. And I picked a lane, and I have not changed my mind in 25 years.
I think you're on the safest of safe lists. Genuinely. I don't think there's... The most unsafe thing about you is your affiliation to me. And push the button. You can guarantee your favorite celebrity is safe, but you must leave your daughter in a room with someone on the Enigma list for 30 minutes.
Enigma. Oh, the
confusing
unknown
list. Who was on that list again?
Everyone from Keanu Reeves to...
Taylor Swift, Adam Driver, Key and Peele, and Keanu Reeves.
That'd probably be okay.
The question really boils down to, do I care about my daughter that doesn't exist, or James Marsden more? I want to consent to everything, down to, like, the most minuscule thing. So if something is just sitting on my face, I did not put it there, I feel violated.
By the dust? By the speck?
Yeah, by whatever it could have been. By spill, like, if I get something on my shirt while eating, like soup or ramen, I'm so mad about that. Despite the amount of dicks I saw on Chat Roulette, Omega will always hold the #1 spot for the most traumatizing thing I've ever done in my childhood.
So here's the thing, my parents were right. Because she did all these
things. No, my parents
were
were right too. No, all the parents were right. All the parents were right. Everything they were worried about happening was happening. Every single time.
It's weird that, like, Newgrounds was, like, the safe, civilized location that formed out of the wasteland that was the internet in the early days. Like, that was the okay place.
God, really?
That's where I was.
I would not have described animation gaming websites as safe places.
Yeah, but nobody tried to tell me they were killing themselves or showed their genitals anywhere or preyed on middle school children.
Maybe you just weren't watching the stuff that did have that.
No, that stuff was labeled, clearly. It was...
Oh!
I mean, the porn section was like its own thing. It was a civilized society where everything was clearly marked and put in its own section.
No!
Everything was also rated by the people that were there. You had full reviews before you ever clicked on it. It was actually...
Wait, really?
Yeah, no. Even compared to YouTube now, or like TikTok, I think it's probably easier to stumble into truly harmful stuff on TikTok than it ever was on Newgrounds. There should be a version that exists, but it should have been... a responsible... society would have,
like...
like...
the internet, we wouldn't have Door Monster.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like
Wait,
people...
you're on the internet! You're literally... You have only been on the internet. That's, like, your whole thing.
I know, because the ability to, like, share things with people is really cool. It just also comes with eldritch horrors, the likes of which humanity has never seen.
Yeah.
And no one ever figured out how to, like, you know, make the hole the right shape so that the good stuff could come through but the bad stuff couldn't, before just unleashing it on the world. And now we're here.
I was like, oh, we'll do like a news segment like we used to.
Yeah.
But the world isn't like it used to be. I went on Reddit and I was just like, what's happening today? Can't talk about those things. It's like Ohio bans women.
Ohio bans
the whole
women.
Everything is like that now.
Also has what? 6th train derailment, spilling chemicals everywhere? What is, like,
That
how
sounds
many
right.
have there been?
See, that could be kind of fun to talk about.
Yeah.
Chemical derailment stuff, what a joy compared to the things I saw today. Alright, so we're starting off this morning with smells. Just to get us real sick.
Actually, just real quick, I wanted to start off with my new stand-up comedy bit, if you don't mind.
Oh, please. I've never heard of it, so...
So I went to the dentist yesterday.
Oh my god.
We went to a new dentist yesterday, and I don't know if I'm gonna tell the story correctly or anything. I'm still just remembering it. It was just weird. I've gotten to this point where I'm much better at noticing when people are lying to me than I used to be, because I used to not know people did it. I would just take everything people said at face value, and now I know people are lying to me. And so sometimes I'll be in situations where I'm like, I'm picking up on clues here, but these people might be full of shit. And then I'll go to Allison and I'll be like, I think these people were full of shit. And then I suddenly feel like the detective inspector talking to Sherlock Holmes when he goes like, I think I have it figured it out. And then Sherlock goes, no, you don't, you fucking idiot. You missed 100 different things.
I've never said that
No, I
once.
know you haven't actually said that. Yeah, I'll be like, I noticed some stuff. And Allison's just like, oh yeah, you mean all of this? And we'll just lay the whole thing out. And I'm like, yep, that's what I picked. That's what I got too from that. That was... We're on the same page.
Yeah. I didn't know what was happening with Kyle, but when the dentist came into me, she said, 1, I had a cavity. 2, I had to get 2 teeth filled. 3, I needed Invisalign. 4, I needed a night guard. And the reason I had the cavity was from teeth grinding. And the reason that my front tooth is chipped is because I'm apparently eating food with my front teeth because my back teeth are tired? I don't know what the fuck she said. She told me the reason my front tooth is chipped was because I was having... Oh, because my bite was misaligned from grinding my teeth. Which was a stupid thing to say because I know exactly how my front... The front of my... I know exactly when that... I didn't just, like, not know that I had a...
That was a gamble. That was a gamble to try and explain your chipped tooth to you.
I just want to preface this with saying Kyle and I had a real life, very deep conversation about a year and a half ago where for the first time I realized Kyle did not know people lied.
Yeah.
And that changed, 1, our whole
I know that
relationship.
sounds ridiculous.
And 2, it was a very, very important conversation that needed to happen after a long fight where I realized Kyle did not understand that people casually lie. Like, all the time. Like, just the concept of lies existing so prevalently never...
Like, to clarify, I understood the concept. I knew theoretically that people lied. I just didn't know how prevalent it was. Like, one of the things that Allison asked... Well, I don't know, the subject came up about, like whether or not
basic.
If somebody texts and asks if you want to do something, you were, like, talking about how, like, you'll say, no, I can't, I'm busy.
Yeah.
As a way to not do it,
yeah.
Even though you weren't busy.
Right, a lot.
And you were like, you asked me, like, you've done that, right? And I was like, no.
Right.
I never once.
No.
I actually went out of my way to make my life super busy for like 4 years so that when I said that, it was true. It never occurred to me to just say a thing that wasn't true. And I didn't know people were doing it to me.
No, I know. It ultimately ended in a very important conversation where apparently there are just people who are not unfamiliar with the concept, but don't realize the reality of how lies exist.
Krell said, is that why my mom used to get mad at me when saying I couldn't find things? People lie about it? Yes, this is exactly how I felt learning this too. Everyone's been mad at you because they think you're lying. Not because you are, or because they're paranoid. Everyone else apparently just lies about that shit because they don't feel like putting in work.
Also, I'll save you the money if you're confused about how often people lie and their reactions to you when you think you're being completely honest. You have autism. I'm saving you the time.
Yeah.
I'm saving you the
If you haven't learned that, look it up.
It's not normal. Like,
It helps. It helps to know.
It's not... That constant confusion cycle is not a neurotypical thing. You are off the neurotypical scale into something different. If you struggle with feeling like people are accusing you of things you would never do and have never done.
The chat got there too at the same time.
Okay. It's autism, guys.
Autumn asked, how did it feel to realize how prevalent casual lies are? Terrible. I'm so angry constantly. And yeah, we went in the next day because they wouldn't have cashed the check yet, and I was like, I've actually changed my mind. I sent this in, so that we could have it be here on time, but I'd like to take it back. I'm going to go ahead and leave. So one of the employees handed the check back. This is the weird thing. They gave me the check back.
We walked in and we said, we want our money back. We're not going to get an apartment here. So We're not going to put a down payment on the apartment, and we're not going to pay for the application fee. We want our check back. And she was like, okay, like stumbly. And then she gives us the money back.
Right.
And then someone comes out and is like, hey, no, you can't have that. We're like, yeah, we can. And she's like, no, you won't.
No, it's better than this.
Oh,
we were leaving. I was halfway out the door. And then I hear something. The woman at the desk says something behind me, and I turn around like, "What was that?" And she says, "You still have to pay the like this particular fee, the application fee. It's like because we've been filling out the application." And I'm standing there in the doorway with my check, and I say, "No."
Just like that. Like genuinely, he's like holding the money. Because she's holding out her hand like, no, you still have to pay us. And he's like got it in his hand and he goes, no.
This was my origin story. This was the first time I was like, I do not have to do that.
Literally.
You see, because physically,
I was so proud of
I'm exiting the building.
Yeah.
And you don't have my money.
Like, you could see it in his face where, like, he had been trained his whole life to simply do as told.
Right.
But he's realized he did this all on his own. He's in the doorway, halfway out the building, with his own money in his hand for an apartment he doesn't want, right? And they're like, no, you still have to pay us that money. And she reaches out, and he's like, no.